All right, fam. Supposed to be live now. I thought I'm gonna do this live here. It's 1 a.m., but I just can't sleep. I put my baby to sleep as well. Talk to my wife. I actually smoked a cigar, which I haven't done for a very long time. It's pretty cool. Um, but I had to do this, guys. I had to do this. So I actually, in my latest video, what I've done is that I told you why I'm taking this Bitcoin long. And my explanation was that whether it's a squeeze or not, we are going to see a pump. We had a very strong MSS. You can look back to the, actually, let's look back to the video now. Actually, look back to the video that I said. Let's look at it. I didn't really prepare anything for this stream. I just really wanted to give you the rundown on what I wanted to do. Oh, by the way, here's the live. That's pretty cool. So let's look at this here.
On my Twitter days immediately after the break.
So this was the position that I was taking. So you can see here, Bitcoin is pretty much here at this 25,700. This is when I actually made this video. You can look at it. It's pretty interesting why I make a breakdown on why I actually went long. And this is playing out pretty decently. So the reason why I thought it was relevant to do a live is because, shout out to Ren from Crypto Panther. Squeeze the opportunity whenever you can. So this is the opportunity for me to follow up on these guys because I don't know what's gonna happen here, and I don't know if we're gonna break it or not. And I know that some of you follow me from all over the world. So some of you said in the comment section that it was like 10 a.m. for you, which is pretty cool. So you might want to act on this, and if you can, like you should. So whoever is trading Asia, this could be very interesting for you. Someone popped a like. That's awesome. I actually don't see the comments here in my Ecam Live. I don't know. I'm pretty new to this platform. So if you can just leave a comment, that would be awesome to know from me if it comes through. Anyway, so just wanted to dive into like what am I seeing here? And what I'm seeing is that, as I explained in the video, my previous video, I thought this was a pretty choppiness, right? And so we had this very massive pump. Then from this pump, what we saw is that we broke below the lows. But what happened here is that we actually came down, liquidated all the early longs, and created a very strong market structure shift, or you might know it as change of characters, here on the 15-minute. Now this, a lot of people said, it's liquidation, dark mode on both sides, liquidation here, liquidation there, and then we're just chopping us all over. But this is a very, very strong indication. Someone is here. Okay, so I actually do see the comment. It came in on YouTube. Faster than slow. Awesome. Good evening for you, my friend. Or good morning almost. It's 1 a.m. here. Anyway, that's awesome. Thanks for leaving a comment. I appreciate it, especially on YouTube. By the way, you should subscribe to my YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe just lifestyle content. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, go and subscribe to YouTube. It's on my profile. Oh, by the way, I should put it on my description. Yeah, that's what I should do. Okay. So anyway, so what I wanted to say is that we see here this market structure shift, which is a very strong indication that we are going to go up. So this was not just a liquidation. This was actually a liquidation of early longs who actually longed here. But this was a strong indication that the market is able to take this liquidity and push through, create a new high. So that was very, very good. So I actually got in on a long here, right around here. What we saw here is that we were building liquidity here on the bottom, and then we took that liquidity while we built liquidity on the top. And now this is key. Every time, you cannot just put a trade on and leave the trade. You always have to monitor it. And what you see here, this is liquidity that's being created. Stop losses all the way that will need to be taken. And it actually does get taken by this move here. But what happens is it doesn't get taken like this. It doesn't get taken by one big candle creating a big void. But what happens is that in a, so to say, choppiness, it comes down. And this was already a very strong indication for me that the market is going to start moving up because there was liquidity on the top. So it created liquidity as it retraced on this move. And that gave a very strong indication that we are going to actually shoot. And now the problem comes, we actually took the liquidity and started moving, as you see, liquidating all these levels here with this very big pump. This is why we had this very strong candle with this big fair value gap. So all the liquidity here, this liquidity pool is being filled just right now with this big candle. Now, what we saw is that now we have this void here that is not filled. In my previous video, what I said was that the 26,450 level is essential. This is a very this was actually the actual level that caused the break here, and this was very close to the 50% to the premium. And what you see is that I called 450 and we actually rejected. You can see it up here what I'm going to show you on the high. We have rejected at 451. So I actually missed the rejection by $1, which is, I think, is pretty impressive to be very humbled and very honest. But what I see is that I was looking at the 3-minute chart and I wanted to see a rejection here as well. Now there's no clear level because of this pump. There's no clear level around here on the 1 minute, on the 3-minute. So basically the low is still around here, around here. That's still the low. But on the 1 minute, there was a level here. Now, my theory was, and I also talked to some of the guys, and I said, if this level is broken, that means that we are potentially going to go down. Now, if you see, this level is the 26,135, and here we actually do touch to that level. So the low was 133. So that means that we actually, in theory, should be going down, but here's the thing why I'm not sure about this is, in trading, you always have to go what if or if then. So you have to have all these scenarios worked out in your head. And the reason why we're potentially not coming down for this is because, one, if you go onto the 5-minute, you will see that this here was a very, very good 50% retracement. So this was enough retracement to the discount zone. We always want to buy in the discount and sell in the premium. So this was a great retracement to the 50%. That means that it was a sufficient move for us. The second is that we did not see, we did see price going just a tiny bit lower than this low, which indicates a simple liquidation. It's just a simple stop hunt. You see liquidity building up here. We have a little bit wick below the low here, and then immediately again what I talked about, an MSS on the lower time frame. As you see here, we break down, and then here we already create a new high. So that's a great indication that we are actually going to go up. Now, again, if then, here are the scenarios that I see. The reason why I'm not selling this is because, as I said in my previous video, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. If we do not reject from this level, we are headed to 26,834 or potentially 27. Now, I do not see a very strong rejection here. I did see a little bit of pullback. Let's see what it was. What the pullback was. It's probably like 1% or something. Yeah, exactly. It's like 1%. We did see it from 451. But we came back to the discount, and this is actually very, very good for us because the fact that we came back down to the discount indicates that we completed this move. So this is a sufficient move. So this liquidity that is left here is potentially for us to come lower. Again, as I said on the higher time frame, unfortunately, I'm still bearish. I still think that we have more downside, potentially 23K. We've got to see that. But for now, what I see is that we are pumping pretty decently. So this liquidity is probably left here for us to come and collect it when we're coming down. So because the rejection wasn't strong enough, the question comes now, and this is why I think it was very cool to go live, is because if we can break above this level with the body, so we can create, after a 50% retracement, if we can create a body break, so in an MSB market structure break, or break a structure like a continuation of the trend, that would indicate that we are in a decent uptrend. And that would put us in this level as our new low, our strong low, and we could place our stop loss here. So what we really want to see is that either Bitcoin claims this level with a body close on a 15-minute, meaning we will close above the 26,450 on the 15-minute chart. If that happens, this low should serve as the stop loss, and that means that I'll probably put a 50% of my position stop loss down here. Maybe we'll weak, maybe manipulation will happen, I don't know. But right now what I'm thinking is that I will place 50% of my stop loss down here, and I will leave the rest open because this is a very decent position at 25K, especially, this is the second scenario, especially if we actually reclaim this level and then we start climbing up and we do not see a strong rejection to 26.8 or 27 or even 27,600. If we do not see these rejections, and rejections I mean a 15-minute low break, so like in this scenario, this would be a strong indication that we are reversing a 15-minute strong level break. um, so if we are coming up here and we cannot break a 15-minute level, if we cannot break a 15-minute low, that's a very strong indication for me to shoot for the actual RR, which would be 28,500 or 28,900, and then potentially take a short from there. So this is the second scenario. One scenario, we reclaim these, then we can put our stop losses here, then we see where it goes. If it goes all the way up here, then we're going to look for a rejection. It's probably going to happen tomorrow. It's most probably not going to happen on Asia. Maybe London manipulation, and then your distributes. We will just see how that goes. But these are the scenario. This is number one. Second, we are seeing Bitcoin coming up, not rejecting from any of these levels, and actually, taking 27.6 or even higher, 28.5, 28.9. Or what can happen is that, on the 1 minute, as I said, I believe this week was just a stop hunt, but it could be the indication that we're going lower. We retraced to the 50% of this wick, which is usually the level to look for when you have a wick like this, especially in the 1 minute. So you look for the 50%. We are rejecting from the 50%, and we actually did create a lower low. So that is a strong indication that we are going to come back down. And this was a retrace, and this here was not just a stop hunt, but the actual indication of us going lower. So yeah. So that is I see 4 people watching. That's pretty cool. So these are the scenarios. So we might actually just come back up here and reject it. This scenario is not likely, in my opinion. Anything is possible, especially with Bitcoin. This is liquidity. This is still liquidity. This is liquidity. And then all this down here is liquidity. So, it can easily happen that we reject. What we want to look for is that Bitcoin has to, even in this stream, actually, it has to break above this high with a buddy. If we won't see this. If we can do that, if we can break above here with a buddy, I would be much more confident going to sleep, knowing that we are targeting 26,800, and my stop loss would probably go below here. So what I'm gonna do now is that I am going to put my stop loss below these lows. Although there is liquidity down here, I don't really mind that. I will put my stop loss at 25,817. That will be my stop loss, new stop loss, and see where this goes. But let's see if I just pull that. Let's see if I just pull the fib from the. Oh, okay. You should follow me on Twitter and subscribe to the YouTube channel for sure. But if we would pull this, yeah, potentially, yeah, definitely. This is definitely my stop loss. Yes, so I'm placing my stop loss at 25. Let's say 25.8, just to be sure. I'm gonna place my stop loss here. Guys, if you have any questions, anything in the comment, let me know. So this will be 25,800. I'll just put it here as my new stop loss. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here so we have it. We potentially can come down. Yeah, we can come down, touch onto this demand. Not likely, in my opinion. So this is basically the scenarios that I am seeing. Super excited to get this. I actually also am in an INJ long. I haven't talked about this. This was my scenario. I was doing a live on the Crypto School Discord, which, by the way, you should join Crypto School. Definitely join Crypto School. A pretty awesome place to be. So I was explaining to everybody like this would be a great place to long, and this would have been, but we had a lot of choppiness. So an INJ, my thesis was that this level here was a very strong demand zone, and we wicked that with these liquidations that were happening. We wicked that 6262. We wicked it, and again, as I've been talking about all this previously, if you follow my content, we have created an MSS, market structure shift, and that means that's a strong indication that we are going to go up. So we just needed to see where this potentially come back down. And I was hoping for it to come back to the 50%, but if we go down the lower time frames, the same thing happened with the, I don't know why it places it here. It's actually here, somewhere here. So the same thing happened. We had this little breakdown, liquidating these stop losses, and then a push up, making a strong MSS, and therefore, making sure that we are going to move up. So I actually got in on this pullback here and waited for a decent pump. On INJ, I'm actually super bullish on this. I think we have a chance to. The thing about INJ is that if you look at the daily, let me look at this. Hold on. If you look at the daily, we had a massive run. So we had a run from here, which was like 300 and what was it, March? So like from January, we had like a 800% run. Yeah, 800% run up to here, which was April. And then we had a decent pullback here, but also as I talked about, creating a lot of liquidity. So you see here, this is all liquidity being created, and also within the structure, there's a lot of liquidity here and so on. If you go down on the 4-hour and 15-minute time frames and so on. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, so this here is a major demand zone. So this was actually one of the longs that I took. Not here, sorry, here. So when we break this, retest, took the long here to here. What happened is that we retested this zone and break out from there, which indicated that this is a very strong level. So what I was waiting for is that we are potentially what I thought was going to happen, that we will see a retracement to these levels at some point, and then with this, I actually thought I was long here and I got stopped. Because I thought this was crazy liquidity up here. So I was like, okay, we're potentially gonna come down to this region here, and then from here bounce. But then we had these wicks down, and then obviously we had the major liquidation that we saw on Bitcoin as well. Let me just delete this here. And we came down. I was like, okay, so the next, this is also the weekly level, by the way. Like on the weekly, this is also a strong level. On the daily, it is a strong level. On the 4-hour, it is a strong level. So we will need to come back down. And the inefficiency, I think it's on a 4-hour or maybe on a 15-minute. No, 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour bullish order block. So we wicked down here, created a high, and I was sure we're gonna come down. So in my mind, what could potentially happen with INJ is that we are like we're rocking. So I'm planning on holding this. Let's see how market structure moves. I think it's a little bit too late to get in, to be honest, and especially it's leaving a lot of liquidity behind, as you see here. Liquidity is, as I talked about, a trend line liquidity mostly here. And it did not come back down to the 50%, which was a problem for me. So it should have. Sorry, let's do this. It should have come down to the 50% level, to the unmitigated area of that wick, and it didn't. It actually induced it, which is not the best. But still this look very good on the 15-minute. Let's look at it. Yeah, this looks very good, very good. And then again, as I talked about liquidity, created liquidity from here. It took liquidity here, came down, retested. Let me just correct this. Retested this order block or this demand zone, broke out from there, and then now off we go. So again, like on the 15-minute, if we do not break below these lows, we should be good. So I'll actually move my stop loss on INJ as well. I will move my stop loss here. Let me just mark this. Maybe I got stopped on this here. I'll just move my, let me see, we have to come back to the 50%. Yeah, on this leg we didn't come back down. No, but it's still good. Yes, I am going to move my stop loss down here. So I'm going to put my stop loss around. You know what? I'm actually going to, if you look at the 1 hour, no, it's not worth it. A lot of liquidity. I'll probably put my stop loss here. I'll mark it as stop loss. Yes, I'll put my stop loss at 6896 if someone is in there. Cool. And Bitcoin is rejecting, guys. Unfortunately, this might have been the actual rejection, the level that I marked. Let's see what it will do. Yeah, maybe we are actually rejecting. This is what I said when we started the stream, that this level, this 26,450, was the actual level where the inefficiency started here. So it was a great level for us to reverse. we didn't come back up to the 50%, which is to the premium zone, which is a little bit tricky because this is what we call an inducement. If we induce it, that's a liquidity inducement trap, and that can actually harm us on the long term, because what can happen is that, you know, people think, okay, so we did not come back up here, and we're going down, and it still has to make it to the premium, because institutions are mostly interested in selling in the premium and buying in the discount. So if there is a massive selling pressure below, just below the premium zone of the 50% retracement, that's sketchy. That's not right. So so I'm still not buying this. I'm still not buying this rejection. But again, if I really want to, again, as a trader, we have to explain like if then. So if I really want to explain it, I can say, okay, this was the 1 minute. We came all the way up here. Then we kind of wigged this, took liquidity, and then built a lot of liquidity. And then broke this level, retraced a little bit, and it's not even a decent retracement. No, this is, I'm not buying this. No, I'm not buying this. No, this has to go up. This has to go up. So I'm super excited to see. I'm gonna go to sleep. Tomorrow is a big day as well. It's a big Friday, but tomorrow is a big day as well. I will move. Actually, I will just move my stop loss right now. I will move my stop loss to 25,800 on Bitcoin. You know, it's very important. We are putting out a great video on Crypto School YouTube next week about risk management. It's very important. The only thing that you can manage as a trader is your risk. There's nothing else that you can manage. So, so it's very important. And if something like this happens, you know, if this 15-minute level is broken, I'm sure that we are heading down to the 20, 23 kind of region. But I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that it's not possible for us. This is also the other thing. I talked about this in the other video, but what could potentially happen is that we see this happen, the same thing, and then choppiness could easily happen. Low volume, you know, there's nothing happening in crypto right now. Or we could actually come all the way to these levels. And if we can claim these levels, we can, this here could be an inducement, as I said. Again, this is the place where the order flow started. This is where the inefficiency started, the real sell-off. And we induced this level here. So that means that this could actually be a trap here for retail, and the price is going to come up to 28 or 29,000 and then reject from there. I do not think that I would be very, very surprised if we could start pushing without any external, you know, events happening, for example, an ETF approval or some great news or whatever that is. I'd be very surprised if we actually could reclaim the highs and go 30 plus thousand. So I'm going to look for shorts. I secure my long here with 25,800. I'm happy about this. I'm happy to give all these profits back if I'm not right about this going higher. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I just had to do it. I see that we have like 7 to 10 people watching, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I hope it makes sense, and I hope you like this video. Please let me know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and let me know how did you like this. If we should do this more, yeah, just let me know. And also follow me on Twitter, but you probably already do that. So cool, guys. Cheers. Good night. Good sleep. Or good day, depending on where you are. And good trading if you're in Asia.